Sneed Arschnummer film, the Nesnes in Stilling Arschnes, why am I Evie Spiders and I work no off.
Oh my gosh.
That was it. Today was the one shot that I could do I could do something like that, and that's what I did.
Tenet Part 2, can't wait to see it.
Tenet. Oh my god! Now another person calling it fucking Tenet. Oh my god. Anyway, there's a lot that I can talk about. I'm gonna talk about CinemaCon and when I get to my topic, but I guess I better start out with another bit of news first, because I reported last week that a certain company that 12 years ago produced a Jason Friedberg and Aaron Seltzer vehicle.
Oh god.
Was going to save Coyote versus Acme. And now, just last night, Ketchup Entertainment has done just that. 12 years ago, they made the Starving Games. 12 years later, they saved perhaps the biggest fan campaign to save any movie ever. They paid $50 million for worldwide distribution rights. This is truly, even though Ketchup Entertainment's quality of their movies is very questionable. Besides, they put out that new fucking Hellboy movie, which is apparently one of the worst movies of the year so far. Or was it last year? I don't even remember when it came out.
Yeah, last year.
But now they saved Coyote vs. Acme. They were the one studio that Warner was like, you know what? Just give it to them. Apple made a bid. I think Amazon also made a bid, but they were like, you know what? We can't do this. And now Ketchup Entertainment has done what no studio could have done and saved this movie. All because of The Day the Earth Blew Up, which, for the record, did not perform well. So I'm wondering how or why they decided to save this movie. Maybe they were thinking that that was a bit of their warm-up. And now with this movie, they could actually have a blockbuster hit on their hands if they market this thing properly, because they gave no marketing to The Day the Earth Blew Up. Mm-hmm. So now they paid $50 million just to acquire the rights to it, on top of the, I think, $80 million budget that it originally had. I personally believe that they need to go all out with the marketing. They need to hire an ad agency, whatever they have to do, and push this movie. Because if they do, it's going to make hundreds of millions of dollars. If they do it the right way. They have to market it the right way.
And if it actually turns out to be a good movie.
Yeah, well, that's true. But again, the test audiences were positive. And again, don't trust test audiences. Trust me, you don't want to go. But if it is any good, they have a chance. They absolutely have a chance. So this is just, frankly, a miracle. We don't get a lot of movie miracles recently, but this is a movie miracle. If there even is hope.
Like, I mean, especially with like this whole change in like studios where it's like, oh, you can just, shelve a film and tax write-off and everything, and then they never see the light of day again, just to see something that was made come out.
Yeah. And the fact that this actually happened, honestly, this is now pretty much going to be kind of, they need to treat this thing like a global phenomenon, because I feel like with the marketing and everybody being interested in it, they need to push it. They really do. They need to push it hard. I don't mean that in a suggestive way, but like literally push the movie out there to as much people as possible, and maybe it could do it, because even though it is based technically on an IP, technically it's kind of an original concept to begin with, at least original in terms of like what Looney Tunes can do. So,
well, to be fair, it is based off an article on this on this newspaper,
The New Yorker, which is a very famous news magazine. It's a magazine that's pretty famous. They're a little high class, so we'll see. If it's based on a New Yorker article, it's gonna be, I guess it's gonna be kind of a high class production, right? I don't know, but yeah, I'm very happy that they got their crap together and they just sold it to them, because Warner could have just locked this thing in a vault or maybe even deleted it, but they didn't. So let's talk about something else here, which I thought this was an April Fool's joke when I woke up this morning and found out about it. I cannot believe this is happening. Dogma is being re-released in limited release with a roadshow tour where Kevin Smith is going to have a Q&A after the movie in each theater. He shows the new 4K restoration of Dogma. That's right. The 4K is finally coming. It's just going to be released in theaters first. I cannot wait. It's been so long.
That's exciting.
And it's not an April Fool's joke. You know why? AMC Theaters put up the tickets. So it's not an April Fool's joke. It's not some joke like last year coming to nobody has cue cards during the screen. Megalopolis.
What do you think of this boner I got?
Oh, God. The only problem is that I wish I could go, but here's the problem. The tickets are $50 per person.
Holy crap.
That's like, really? That's like Broadway
it's
show.
Because Kevin Smith is going to be there. I think that's why. If it just showed the movie, it would be an average ticket cost. But because Kevin Smith is actually going to do a Q&A, that's why they jacked up the price. And oh man, I wish I could go to these Q&As. I could meet Kevin Smith. I could be in the same room as him, because he's one of my favorite filmmakers. And Dogma is I go back and forth between Tracy and Amy, but Dogma is one of my favorites of his, if not my favorite. But if this gives me any indication, the 4K is coming this year. We just don't know by who or how, when it's going to be released. So I'm so excited. I'm so fucking excited, because I've been holding on to that fucking 2-disc DVD for about 2.5 years now. It's finally time to get a better copy and an affordable price, considering unless the fucking tariff law goes into effect with fucking physical media, which, I hope to God not. I don't want to be paying tariffs on my physical media. Anyway, yeah, it's really fucking exciting. It's so fucking exciting. And Lilo and Stitch 4K coming May 6th, a couple of weeks before the remake.
I did not see that.
It's real. It's been fully restored and remastered by the Disney Film Preservation Team. Dolby Atmos mix, HDR10, will be in the proper aspect ratio.
Lilo and Stitch is a top, for me, like one of my top 10 favorite Disney anime movies. So
I have one question, though. One question.
Mm-hmm.
Will they restore the washing machine?
No. No.
They said they were going. This is the Film Preservation Team. You'd think that for this release only, they put the fucking washing machine back into the movie. Like, I don't get it. I understand why they did it, but at the same time, I want the original version. Damn it! I don't want no George Lucas revisionist changes on my Disney movies.
At that point, give me the pre 9/11 cut.
Give me the original Fantasia cut with the fucking blackface.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, how about no on that?
And then we also have a couple of other 4Ks.
Or maybe release the original cut of the Black Cauldron.
Well, that would be insane if they fucking found the 4K and the matte negatives that Jeffrey Katzenberg threw out.
Because I would love to see just like how scary.
I want to see how violent this thing is because they were scared they were getting a PG-13 or an R. I want to see how violent it is. Let's see what else I could talk about. Oh yes, I have an update on the Bring It On 4K because I've been complaining about this 2 weeks ago when we reviewed it. I want my 4K, and guess what? They finally announced the date, June 24th. It's about time. Yeah. It's the long-anticipated 4K for a movie Jared and Soren called A Nothing Movie. Go f*** yourself.
Hey, I gave it a 6 out of 10. It's still decent.
Yeah, you called it a nothing movie. I'm seeing 24th on fucking digital bits here. I'm seeing 24th. Is it 24th? Hold on, let me look at that again. Yeah, I'm seeing. Oh wait, no. Yeah, 24th. I'm seeing the 24th on digital bits because it's coming out the same day as the JFK reissue, where they're gonna take out the fucking bonus features disc and the big box. So,
box. I got my JFK big box.
Yeah, I got the big box, just like those Vinegar Syndrome collectors. Anyway, I'm very excited. Apparently, there's going to be no new special features on the fucking 4K. But at the very least, what makes up for it is that apparently with Bring It On, it's going to be remastered from the original camera negative, and it was supervised by Peyton Reed himself. So obviously, it is going to have accurate colors. And it's not going to look like some upscale DVD. And yeah, Complete Unknown and Lion King. Did it come out in 4K today as well? Did it come out today?
Yeah, in fact, I ordered Companion.
I need to order that myself. I need to order it as soon as I can. I gotta get it through Groove, probably through Groove, because Groove, they have good prices down on Groove. But yeah, it's fucking exciting. I actually have something coming in the mail in the next week or two. Not next week, but I don't know if I want to talk about this now, but I'm going to hint at it at least. Maybe I might talk about it, but I'm going to hint at this. This is what I got on eBay was the best physical media purchase I've ever bought because of how cheap it was. That product that I ordered goes for 60, 70, 80 bucks usually on eBay. You know how much you paid for it? 15.
Oh, wow.
I was going to guess 10.
Dang.
Well, close enough. You know, fuck it, I'll say it. I got the complete series of Breaking Bad on Blu-ray for $15. It's the box set. Technically with shipping, that costed me like $22 at the end of the day. But $22 for a show that is notoriously expensive everywhere you look? I was looking into buying it. I said last week I had an interest in buying it, and then I saw one for $50. Like, okay, that's not too bad. But then I saw it for $10. I had to make sure that shit wasn't a bootleg. I actually contacted the seller. Do you have the bonus disc? Do you have everything included in there? And everything was. And I checked other copies to see if it was legitimate. It's a legitimate copy that I got for only 22 fucking bucks at the end of the day. $22. Look, I paid how much I paid for Lost? I paid over $100 to get the whole show for Lost, and that's my favorite show. Breaking Bad, I only paid $22. It's insane.
Well, I say that's even cheaper than what I paid for my 28 days, 28 weeks later double feature.
You don't come across shit like that. In terms of like deals like that, you. This is why I say I learned something today, folks. Sometimes it's fuck. I messed up the meaning. What was I gonna say? Fuck it. Damn it! I forgot the figure of speech. Oh man, I had a brain fart. Wonderful. I had a great brain fart. Good things happen to people who wait. That's what I was meaning to say. Good things happen to people who wait. And I got the whole show, and hopefully it will be here by the time we get on next week so I can show off the packaging. Again, $15. That's like once a lifetime. Like, I swear, it sounded like I was practically almost getting this for free almost in terms of how much it costed. It's almost like fucking Craigslist probably doesn't have it for that cheap. But yeah, I'm very excited about that purchase. So that'll be coming in hopefully in a few days, but we'll see. But yeah, there's a lot of exciting stuff. And obviously, I'm going to talk about CinemaCon today on this episode, but that's going to wait for my actual topic. So in the meantime, Soren, how about you start off?
All right. Last week, as you all know, I went over the top 15 best scenes of 2024. So I
You're talking about the worst?
Indeed.
Oh, dibs, knock on wood.
And like before, it's going to be in release order. So here we go.
Okay,
Number one, Death by Pepsi Cola and Madam Web.
Oh!
That seems... That's one of the most, like, unintentional...
You can put the whole fucking movie on there!
Yeah.
Or... at least in terms of, oh god, I can name so many scenes off the top of my head that can count, that can pretty much be in here, like the fucking scene when they go to the diner. That whole section of the movie can just.
That was up there for me.
Oh.
Number two, the entire second act with the excess plot twist in Argyle.
Oh, I've never seen Argyle, but I've heard so much shit about it.
Yeah, man.
Matthew Vaughn, you're in a midlife crisis.
$200 million down the shitter.
Yeah,
and Universal didn't receive any of that because that was all Apple. All they did was distribute the movie. They didn't. Nothing happened to them, and they didn't even put out the Blu-ray because Apple's so cheap.
Yeah. Number three, not using the dehydration gun in Megamind vs. the Doom Syndicate.
Oh,
Megamind! Oh, the Megamind sequel, which is technically a pilot to the TV show. Technically,
if you've seen Steve Willis's video, then you know what I'm talking about.
I didn't know it was a Megamind sequel until I saw Soren review it on Letterboxd.
Technically, it's not even a sequel. It's basically a backdoor pilot. That's what it is.
Oh,
more or less. Number four, the excess product placement opening in the Garfield movie.
I know one of them was FedEx, I think.
Yeah, and Olive Garden.
Of course. Didn't they do Olive Garden the first live-action Garfield movie, if memory serves me correctly?
I believe so.
Jesus Christ. Olive Garden and Garfield have a extreme connection, I guess.
Apparently. Number five, the ending with Everyone Wants to Rule the World in Despicable Me 4.
They play Everybody Wants to Rule the World in the end of that movie? Oh, God, no. I thought Minions: The Rise of Gru when they did the Rolling Stones. What the fuck's the song? You can't always get what you want. I thought that was bad.
Number six, the bobblehead flashback in Saving Bikini Bottom.
Oh, again, haven't seen it.
I haven't seen it. I have seen the movie Bobbleheads, though.
Oh, no. I heard that was bad.
It was so bad.
Yeah. Number seven, first meeting Claptrap in Borderlands.
Oh, is that the Jack Black character? Is that?
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
That is a movie that, like, I'm very interested in just watching.
Blame a VR Rod. Blame a VR Rod. You know it's bad when Craig Mason had to take his fucking name off.
Number eight, the entire climax in Harold and the Purple Dildo.
Oh my God. I keep forgetting that movie exists. And I forget Zachary Levi is still a thing, even though all of his movies recently have been under flack. Shazam 2, The Unbreakable Boy, this movie.
Yeah, Zachary Levi really wanted to be a star, and he is...
God, you should have stayed on Chuck!
Yeah.
Number 9, the self-sacrifice ending in The Crow.
So in The Crow, he self-sacrificed himself. I mean, he already died, but like, what?
Yeah, to save his girlfriend, to bring her back to life.
But wait, Shelly comes back from the dead at the end of the No, you gotta be kidding me. No. Oh my god.
Number 10, the opening where they played Post Malone in Whitebird.
The Wonder sequel?
Post Malone in Whitebird?
Yeah, the Wonder sequel.
Jesus Christ. No wonder that movie got delayed for like 5 years there.
Yeah. Number 11, the final act in The Piano Lesson.
The Piano Is that the one? Is that a Netflix movie?
Yeah, the movie where they try to be like fences in Marie's Black Bottom, and until all of a sudden it becomes an episode of Ghost Hunters.
Great! It turns into an episode of Ghost Hunters at the end. Jesus Christ!
Yeah.
It's part of those plays that Denzel Washington got the rights to. Like he did Fences.
Yeah, of course he did that.
Black Bottom. It's part of that.
I forgot he directed that. Movie. I forgot. So I don't know. I don't know about that.
Number 12, the Benvenida musical number in Amelia Perez.
Is that the one from penis to vagina?
No, this is another one.
Oh.
Believe me, that was in contention.
What's this one then? I never even seen
the one where Selena Gomez sings.
Oh dear.
I don't.
Oh yes. That's the one with the whole "my pussy hurts" thing.
The one that I think is just really the worst, and it's because like the person just can't sing, is when the doctor starts singing. That's
the for penis to vagina guy.
This is an older doctor guy. Yeah, he just can't. He's sing talking, and it's so.
Well, the whole movie was sing talking allegedly.
Yeah,
even to the point where they won the best original song, they just randomly sung.
The one song in that movie where I'm just like, I kind of like this, and there's some coolish visuals here, but then it's just like it's done in 2 minutes. Most of the songs are like 2 minutes long, and it's like, okay.
God, at least Les Mis committed to actually not stopping the sing until the movie cuts to black when it's over.
Number 13, the opening song in Spellbound.
Oh, hey, John Lasseter, how you doing?
Yeah. Number 14.
Skydance, how's the Paramount merger going?
Number 14, Kraven the Hunter versus Rhino.
Oh my god, I thought The Amazing Spider-Man 2 was embarrassing.
I forgot that Kraven the Hunter came out.
and number 15, the ending in Mufasa the Lion King.
I still need to see that.
Honestly, fucking put everything in Madam Web. That's like the worst everything of the year. Like nothing. Oh god, it's so bad. It's so fucking bad. It's bad when Sony was like at CinemaCon yesterday. I'm like, oh yeah, they didn't even mention that they're doing another Venomverse movie. They were like, here's the two that you already know are coming that we kind of don't interfere with very much. So there you go. We're done with the Venomverse now. Bye. I'm just like, it's.
Well, except for that Spider Noir thing with Nicolas Cage, but
I don't even know if that's even gonna fucking be coming. I honestly don't think it's gonna come. They said it for years. I doubt it's gonna dump. And since it's gonna be on MGM Plus, I don't know how well that's gonna do. It's probably gonna flop. Because nobody fucking has MGM Plus. Nobody does. Name me one person who has MGM Plus. You can't.
Yeah, no.
You can't. And it's redundant because MGM is part of Amazon now. It's fucking redundant.
Doesn't make any sense at all. Because sometimes at least they'll be like, whatever is on MGM Plus is on Amazon, but then it's like, why not just have it be on Amazon?
Jesus Christ, it's fucking annoying. Anyway, Jose, I think that's only MGM Plus is only a U.S. thing. I don't think it's in Canada. I don't even think that's worldwide. I think it's just the United States. Anyway, oh, that was interesting. Okay, I guess I'll go now. We have to talk about CinemaCon, and because CinemaCon started yesterday, and it's a huge, like, it's already been kind of big already because we already have 2 studios down and one speaking at the moment, which is Warner Brothers. So if I have any updates as we're live on this thing, I'll let you know in terms of what Warner is showing because they're talking right now. So we're gonna start
Hey,
off.
David Zaslav, try justifying your company going on there.
By the way, I got most of these. I used what they call live blogs because they don't broadcast this shit on YouTube to the general public. So I'm going to credit Caitlin Booth at bleedingcool.com, Bleeding Cool Comics. I believe that's the full title of the website. She has done a fantastic job live blogging everything that's happening, and she actually has a really good sense of humor about certain things, which because she roasted at one point because Warner is talking. She roasted Warner Brothers in one of the comments as David Zaslav was talking. So, and I'm gonna read you the comment that she said right now. If I can find it. Come on, baby, come on. If I can fucking find it. I found it somewhere. Okay, here it is. Okay, David Zaslav, he was on the booth and he's talking to everybody at the beginning of the conference. He said Warner Brothers has storytelling in his DNA, and Caitlin Booth said, and yeah, I quote, Warner Brothers has storytelling in its DNA when it isn't shit candy movies for tax credits. I'm telling you, she has a sense of humor, and she roasted Warner like that. I mean, shit. And she roasted Lionsgate too at one point during their press event, which I'll get to. But we're gonna go one at a time.
Because nowadays the only things making Lionsgate money are Hunger Games and John Wick.
Yeah, that's really about it. And Twilight, if you want to get technical, because they own that now. But let's start off with the first event of yesterday's Seoul event. Well, presentation, I should say presentation, which is Sony Pictures Entertainment. Of course, Tom Rothman, my other arch nemesis, was there too. And
trust me, Vic, we all owe Tom Rothman an apology after David Zaslav.
I guess so. Okay.
At least Tom Rothman doesn't cancel movies for tax credit.
That's true. So there was this fucking sizzle reel for CinemaCon before that, and they had a montage of how movies were awesome for 2024. Caitlin, in particular, said Civil War and A24 shout out. We love to see it. That's right. You shout out Civil War. Never a fan of Civil War. The best movie of last year. And apparently the reaction that people had in the footage, like they showed footage from It Ends With Us, and the reaction was not good. The theater owners were like, no, get that shit off the screen. Apparently, that's according to her. The reaction was bad for that sizzle reel when fucking that thing, Long Legs, The Substance also got love, even though Substance didn't even get a fucking wide release. So I don't know. So, okay, so let's get to the actual Universal stuff here. We start off with Jack Black and Paul Rudd in a video introducing Tom Rothman and also promoting the movie Anaconda. Apparently, during this segment, they sing Sir Mix-a-Lot's Baby Got Back because Anaconda don't want... Oh.
God.
Agreed. It's just called Anaconda. Agreed. One of those just copy and paste the original title sequels.
Well, at least with this Anaconda, it's going to be a fucking comedy. I'm actually interested because the comedy. Because the first one took itself too seriously. People think, no, it's an unintentional comedy because it takes itself too seriously. Okay. So, Tom Rothman also said during this that the that he wants to help out movie theater tickets to go down. He encouraged he wants to fix the box office window between streaming and box office, and he wants to try and help to see if they can make the ticket prices lower. And he said, quote, he wants us to think about this phrase during the week. Tuesday, the grosses are higher on Tuesday because the prices are lower. What if you could make other days like Tuesday? Tom Rothman, honestly, he might be correct. There might be more days where they could get discounted prices. I think Tom Rothman, I mean, maybe he's talking out of his own ass, but that's not a bad idea. That's not a bad idea. You could promote people going to the movie theater on the weekday and get discounts.
Well, to be fair, people already go to see movies on weekdays. I mean, that's why we have the weekend. That's why movies come out on Friday, so people would see them over the weekend.
So, during this presentation, they're showing films in a new way this year, and they are focusing on the people who are making the films rather than the people who star in them. Now, there are a couple of people who do appear in terms of like celebrity actors and things like that, but most of them, all of them except for the very last reveal were all through video, so I'm not going to count those. The big celebrity appearance isn't until the very end. So we'll get to that when we get to that. First, 28 years later, Danny Boyle shows up. He's there, and he said he has learned nothing in the years between this. Nothing. No, he has learned nothing between. He had learned nothing in the past 28 years, and he loves blowing shit up. That's what Danny Boyle said. He loves blowing shit up. It makes him seem like Michael Bay.
My God, that's not something I would think I would hear Danny Boyle say.
But he did. And then he had the world premiere of the new trailer, which is not out for the general public yet. Something tells me we're going to get that soon. And then Boyle has a shocking announcement. Apparently, you know how I said that this 28 years later thing was supposed to be 3 movies? Apparently, he has not been financed to do a 3rd movie yet. And he's asking people to support the movie so we can come back and continue to be immature on stage. That is his words.
Oh my God.
And he also made
he's pulling the Kevin Costner.
And he also made 3 different Bond jokes, including one where he said that Aaron Taylor Johnson is the new Bond. Now, we haven't done Amazon MGM yet because they don't go till later, but I do want to mention this before I continue, which is another breaking news thing I forgot to mention. They finally found the people who are going to run James Bond now after Eon dropped out. 2 big producers, very big producers that they hired. The first one, David Heyman, the producer of all the Harry Potter movies, Barbie, Wonka. That man he is apparently the 2nd biggest producer of all time in terms of box office gross, only behind Kevin Feige. He's the right man for the job. And plus he's British, so that helps. The other producer is the one I'm a little scared of. Amy Pascal. Who I roasted a couple of times, especially with her Sony regime. So I'm a little scared, even though David Heyman is a fabulous producer. Amy Pascal, I hope she gets her shit together, though, and it doesn't interfere with it too bad. But we'll see. Anyway, I genuinely believe since Amazon MGM is actually going to be at CinemaCon. Apparently, they want to, because the new people at Amazon MGM want to produce 12 to 13 movies a year now. So they want to be essentially what Fox was before the Disney merger. So I have a strange feeling at CinemaCon, they're going to blow a shocker. They're going to announce James Bond when it's their turn. Who's going to be the new James Bond? I think it might be possible. And it might be Aaron Taylor Johnson. He's heavily rumored, so I don't know. Anyway, we also have Nia DaCosta, who directed the second 28 years later movie coming out next January, up there as well. She said that the first film was one of 12 DVDs in her house, and she watched it over and over again. And it was when she watched that when she realized that movies could be anything. I'm glad that Nia DaCosta is doing very well after the whole Marvel's debacle, because Disney kind of threw her under. People say, "Oh no, it was her fault." I think Kevin Feige threw her under the bus.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel that. I probably feel that way too.
Now, I'm not saying the movie ain't shit. I'm just saying that she got thrown under the bus.
So
I didn't care for it.
I'm just saying that it's not her fault. That's what I'm saying. It's not her fault. And plus she's only directing it. Alex Garland's writing all three of these. So
sometimes unless you are somebody in like say the MCU and stuff that has been given just like a lot of direct control and everything, a lot of times if something doesn't pan out, it might be the producer's fault.
yeah, in other words, most of what's going on with Marvel today is Feige's fault, not so much the directors. Anyway, we next up, Phil Lord, now Chris Miller for some reason, and the Spider-Verse directors revealed the new date for the third installment of the most overrated saga of all time.
You shut your whore mouth.
Hey, don't steal his line. He's gonna be upset.
I haven't even seen this.
2027. It's coming out 2027. They say it's the end of it. It's the end of the whole franchise, animated franchise. So, Phil Lord actually roasted Danny Boyle a little bit, said that it didn't take nearly as long as Danny Boyle, so he couldn't feel as bad. Jesus Christ.
Dang.
Danny Boyle, oh, man. June 4th, 2027. Next, a movie called Caught Stealing, starring Austin Butler and Zoe Kravitz, directed by Darren Aronofsky.
Yay!
Great! It's a great. I can't wait to boycott this movie.
Like Darren Aronofsky, not all his movies, but I like him. He is a asshole, but
So he said, it takes place in late 90s New York. There's a trailer for it. Comes out August 29th, so late summer release. I guess it's going to be the most commercial movie he's done since probably Noah. Probably.
That's
Next.
not commercial.
That's not commercial?
It's not as commercial as you would think, but still it is.
So what's his most commercial movie then? The Wrestler?
Huh?
What's his most commercial movie then? The Wrestler?
Maybe, yeah.
Next, we have the new Resident Evil movie. Director Zach Krieger comes on the stage. Zach Krieger is one of the producers of Companion, which of course is the best film of the year. So congratulations, Zach. And he also wrote and directed Barbarian, one of the most overrated films I've ever seen in this decade. But anyway, he said that it's being built into the spirit of the games. It's going to be one protagonist from point A to point B as they descend deeper and deeper into hell. Now, this makes me wonder, is it going to be one of the characters from the game, or are we just like removing that entirely and going with new characters? I don't know. Because they try to do Resident Evil all the fucking time. This is the third time they tried to reboot this franchise. And Constantin Film's still involved, so I'm very concerned. Because every time Constantin Film is involved with these fucking Resident Evil movies, they always turn out shit. It turned out shit with Paul W.S. Anderson was around. It turned out shit with Welcome to Raccoon City. It turned out shit with the TV show. It all turned out shit. Maybe Constantin Film should be taken off the project, and Sony should finance this thing on their own because they're not helping. I mean,
if only they let George Romero adapt the games from the beginning, like he has been trying before the first.
Next, a big, beautiful journey with Margot Robbie and Colin Farrell. Apparently, it's like I've heard it described as a more optimistic episode of Black Mirror. That's what I've heard about it. The same guy, the director who's directing this, is interesting because the guy who directed this directed one of the most controversial episodes of television. How controversial? It made me want to drop the franchise because the fans were so bad. You want to know what he directed?
I see.
He directed the third episode of The Acolyte. Oh, God. The one thing where the fans just they showed their true colors and like, fuck you, I don't want anything that's having to do with Star Wars anymore.
They showed many things.
Many things. Next,
He
this
also
is
did
probably
After Yang, which I felt to be a pretty boring A24 film.
Next is this is probably the worst one of the lot, honestly. It's an animated movie called GOAT, where Stephen Curry, the basketball player, voices a goat who plays basketball. Get it? GOAT,
Oh
basketball player, GOAT.
Oh my god.
Sony Animation. Come on. This is why I don't like animation all that much anymore. This is why I don't talk about it often, because of shit like this. Anyway, they also announced they're going to put out more anime releases to theater. So I guess like anime, I'm not sure if these are like anime movies or episodes of anime, but they want to put out stuff for Demon Slayer. That's coming out September 12th. New Insidious coming in August 2026.
Yeah.
And then one of the biggest not announcements because it's been announced already, but the biggest one, at least for my opinion, one of the more highly anticipated Sony productions this year, the new I Know What You Did Last Summer 3, which technically is being called I Know What You Did Last Summer. We're pulling Halloween 2018 again. They're called the third movie in a series, but same title as the first movie. Why? Why do studios keep doing this? It's fucking irritating. I hate it when they did it with Scream 5, and nobody calls that movie Scream. Everybody I know personally calls it Scream 5.
I call it 5 Cream for obvious reasons.
Hold on, I'm going in chronological order, Hunter. I'm going in chronological order. You gotta be patient. Patience,
Actually,
buddy.
a better title would be I Know What You Did 20 years ago. Like
but apparently, from what I understand, this trailer is bloody. Maybe it's very bloody. So maybe it makes me wonder, what's bloodier, the second movie or this movie? Because the second movie was bloody. I mean, the first one had blood too, but the second one was bloodier. So I wonder if there's gonna be more blood in this one. Next, a new Taika Waititi movie called Clara and the Sun, starring Jenna Ortega. We didn't get much information about that. Next one. This is probably one of my most excited ones. It's a movie called Grand Gear. Now, what you may be wondering, what the fuck is Grand Gear? This is directed by Takahashi Yamazaki, and if you don't know who that name is, he directed single-handedly my choice for the best film of the decade, Godzilla -1. This is his first American movie.
Ooh.
And that guy is a fucking visionary. I'm in. I mean, he made the best Godzilla movie I ever fucking saw in my life. So, come on. Next. I'm sorry, Romy. I'm gonna have to steal a joke for a minute. I need to. Hold on. I need to fucking blow my nose first. Ugh, God. Fucking boogers when I'm ever trying to do something
welcome
important.
to my world, Victor.
Ugh. Ugh. Anyway, now, sorry, Romy, I'm gonna have to copyright your shit again. Yeah, because we're reviewing that. Let's see. Hold on. Oh fuck, I'm already losing track of what I'm doing. The new Jumanji coming Christmas 2026.
I'm all
the
for
sequel. No, I'm not all for it. The first one was the only good one. There you go. I did that joke, and now I got that out of the way.
Hopefully, it's better than the director's last movie, Red One.
Oh my god, it's fucking bad. Stick with only the first Jumanji and Zafura. Zafura is the real sequel to Jumanji, not those pieces of shit with The Rock. God. Next, we got confirmation that Starship Troopers is being remade with Neil Blomkamp writing and directing. Now, I would be against this, but I'm not, and I'll tell you why. The original Starship Troopers was not an adaptation of the novel it's based on. Paul Verhoeven pretty much took it, made it a satire, and it didn't really adapt much from the book. Something tells me what Neil Blomkamp is going to do, he's going to adapt the book. And if he does adapt the book, that could be interesting. Oh, so it is adapting the book. There you go. There you go. He's adapted the book. There you go. That's how you do a remake. Do it differently compared to what Paul Verhoeven did. I love the original Starship Troopers. I own it. But that's the best thing you could do. That's the best thing you could have done. And when Neil Blomkamp, ever since he came back with Gran Turismo, I've had more faith in the guy since Gran Turismo happened. So I'm hoping for the best. Also, Fervor, Legend of Zelda confirmation, which apparently Nintendo spoiled themselves, but apparently it's coming out in March 2027. Westball is directing, as I mentioned before, which means there's not going to be a Planet of the Apes movie until maybe 2029.
Well, to be fair, with the first batch of these Planet of the Apes movies, Rupert, what's his name, directed the first one, but then Matt Reeves.
I hope they don't replace. That's the thing. I don't want him. I think Wes Ball is the right man to go forward with this franchise. You can't always get a director like as big of a director as Matt Reeves to replace him. I just don't know. Then again, you could argue if it's with the same creative team, it doesn't really matter as long as Rick Jaffa and Amanda Silver are there supervising the whole thing, which is true. But you know, I just wish he would have directed another one.
I love Westball's Kingdom of
So I guess between Universal making the Mario movies and now Sony making the Zelda movies, I guess they're not moving forward with us. It was Smash Brothers crossover.
I don't know how that would work, though. I don't know how that would work. And then you also have, they did a whole stage thing with Karate Kid Legends. There are people doing karate on the stage during the performance, the presentation. Ralph Macchio and the new Karate Kid was on the stage. They got scenes, and they got the new trailer, which is now out to the general public as of today.
I have not seen that trailer, but
I have not seen any trailer for Karate Kid, to be honest with you, if I can be honest.
What is it?
I haven't seen any trailer for the new Karate Kid.
I saw the first one because I've seen it in theaters a few times, and I really loved it as somebody that really, like, the Karate Kid isn't, like, my kind of franchise or anything.
To be fair, I'm kind of iffy on this new one, but because why would you get the main actor for the original Karate Kid, but then get Jackie Chan for
I
the
love
remake?
that idea. Combining pretty much now the remake is no longer a remake, but I love that idea because I'm a defender of the remake. I'm sorry. I defend that movie. That movie was good. Next, Destin Daniel Cretton takes the stage because he's the director of Spider-Man 4. He shares a little bit of his personal story, a few personal stories. He has said that his son's first word was Spider-Man. That was his first word. That was his kid's first word. He also, he cites Most Wanted as the thing that grabbed his kid. Most Wanted, is that a comic? Is a comic of Spider-Man? Is that Most Wanted? Need for Speed? Most Wanted? I don't know.
And I think so.
So then Tom Holland did a quick video, sharing the love and support, and revealed the new title, Spider-Man Brave New World. Excuse me, Brave New Day. I hate this title because it sounds too similar to Brave New World. I talked about it backstage because this sounds too much like Brave New World. It's almost like they wanted to call it Brave New World, but that's taken.
Let's see.
Well, to be fair, the title is derived from a Spider-Man comic book back in the day. So,
and apparently, Destin Daniel Cretton is feeling the jet lag because he was about to announce the date, and I guess he fucked up or something, or he had a delay when he said it, or I don't know, some jet lag. Apparently, according to Caitlin Booth of BleedingCool.com, July 31st, 2026. Honestly, there needs to be movies. A quick thought. I think there should be $100 million blockbusters opening in August. I feel like August is where all the movies go to die. And honestly, they should change that. January is already starting to change. Why not August? You know?
January is not the dumping ground it used to be.
Yeah, it isn't. Like, look at Companion is my best film of the year so far. And that came out in fucking January. What does that tell you?
Yeah, it seems like February is the new January nowadays.
And now the last thing on Sony's plate. This is a huge, huge thing. You know it's good when they didn't even end with Spider-Man. This is bigger. They decided this was the big that they wanted to talk about. Tom Rothman has said that this project is the most ambitious project he has ever done in his entire filmmaking, being a studio executive. The Beatles 4-film event, directed by Sam Mendes.
AKA the Beatles Cinematic Universe. Try to do that, Marvel.
Like, excited and nervous and, like, have faith, and yet I have so many thoughts, and they're kind of awesome and scary, too.
So, he said that he was trying to make a movie for years, but one movie was not big enough, and TV series was not enough. All 4 movies are told from the distinct perspective of each of the members of the Beatles. John, Paul, George, and Ringo. They all overlap in some way and all form one big story. And the biggest news of them all, other than the cast, which we'll get to, is that all 4 movies are coming out April 2028. All 4 of them are coming out simultaneously.
That's insane to me.
I don't even know how this is going to be fucking possible. Like, I know Angel Studios does this all the time with The Chosen. They put out episodes in the theater over a 4-week period. But this is the first time a major studio is putting out 4 movies simultaneously with each other.
I'm
Well, to be
wondering.
fair, there was a little door adaptation which had both 2 parts in theaters at the same time back
Go
in
ahead, Jared.
'88.
Do we know, like, well, we probably don't know, but I was wondering, like, if maybe the movies have, like, a shared production budget so that
Maybe, I don't know.
one doesn't
Who
do
the fuck?
well.
Wait, who the fuck? Who's hacking? David?
I didn't
David?
know it.
Show yourself. Who are you? Uh-oh. Brandon Ray, what the fuck's going on
What?
here? It has to be David, doesn't it? It has to be David. There's no doubt in my mind. This is David. I'm going back to whatever I was doing.
What in the world?
What is going on here? Unless it's Shane fucking with us behind the scenes and I don't know it because it says backup producer. Who the who's messing around in here? Who is messing around in here? Show yourself. Speak now, forever hold your peace. He's still here. He's still in the fucking line thing. Oh, God.
Backup producer. That's
I was talking about the fucking Beatles. What the oh my
what is happening.
the fuck is what the who the fuck is
This fucking rapist, do yourself a favor, go
what the fuck?
This fucking rapist, do yourself a favor, go die in a violent car crash.
Who's calling? Who's calling?
Penis, vagina.
No, who the okay.
I hereby discharge you from duty.
I did not click that. Who did this? I haven't even touched that clip in like 6 months. Oh God, it's fucking Chayton. God damn it, Chayton, show yourself now. Show yourself.
If you want to save America, get your friends, get your family, get everyone you know, and vote early. If you want.
This is not a political show. Who the fuck is behind here? I'm trying to do my show. David! You son of a bitch!
It was David.
Oh my. He's gonna pay for this. I'm gonna make sure he pays for this. I'm gonna even go back to my fucking soundboard.
Maybe he hacked the stream because you badmouthed Spider-Verse.
What do you mean? He has nothing. I don't think he knows what fucking Spider-Verse is. Oh my god. Get off the stage, Josh. Oh god. Damn you. What was I? Beatles. Yes, the cast. They have announced the cast. Yeah. Apparently, this is the cast. Who's playing Paul McCartney? Paul Mescal from Gladiator 2.
Yay.
For some reason, I keep confusing him for Pedro Pascal. Probably because they share a similar name and they were both in Gladiator.
Who's playing George? Joseph Quinn from Quiet Place Day 1 and Fantastic Four. Ringo Barry Keoghan, our newest Joker.
Yeah.
And John Harris Dixon, who was in the Iron Claw about a year and a half, just about a year ago. And they were the only people who actually were on stage when this happened. They did show up to this one. The rest of the actors did not show up, and that's it. That's it for Sony. I have to say, as much as I hate Tom Rothman, he didn't do too bad. I don't think he did that bad. There were a couple of movies I were interested in, obviously. Wait, Joseph Quinn was in Gladiator 2 as well? God damn. You might as well put the entire cast in Gladiator 2. Put Denzel Washington to play Ringo. I don't care.
Just finally watched Gladiator 2 for the first time.
I hope when these 4 movies came out, somebody puts them in a hard drive and takes them to the Yesterday universe where the Beatles don't exist.
Yeah. Now, Lionsgate. I'm going to be blunt with you right now. This is the worst presentation so far. We're going to get David Zaslav. I haven't looked at what Warner has been doing as of the past 30 minutes. So maybe they might do something that's even worse. But let's talk about Lionsgate first. We start off with a movie directed by Francis Lawrence, if memory serves me correctly. Come on, baby. Is it fucking? Hold on. Oh god, I'm farting. I'm having a brain fart. I'm sorry.
Is it the newest Hunger Games?
No. It's actually something else. He directed another movie that's supposed to come out soon. When the fuck is it come? Hold on. Oh god. Hold on. I'm trying to read. Sometimes reading here. Oh, first Neon had a few words before Lionsgate came on. They showed a new trailer for The Life of Chuck, which is not out on the internet yet. That's like the biggest thing that they did. Which of course I'm really much looking forward to. It's fucking Mike Flanagan. Come on. It's Mike Flanagan.
Yeah.
Okay. First of all, one other thing I forgot to mention about 28 Years Later. All of the movies in the trilogy are separate movies that are linked through characters. That means they're all going to tell 3 completely different stories that are linked by characters. They are not, they're not one big saga. Or unless they are one big saga, but they just feel like separate movies. Anyway, now we go to Lionsgate. Oh, what the fuck? Come on. Because there's just... Yes, Lions, here we go.
Yeah.
First will be... Actually, yeah. The first was actually Ballerina. Excusez-moi, it's Ballerina. Which people say, oh, this movie looks great and all that. Honestly, I don't know. You know why? Because they had to reshoot, and Chad Stahelski had to come in and direct the reshoots. I don't have any faith in Wen Weissman at all. If reshoots give you an indication, that means the movie's fucked. If you do last-minute reshoots, you're fucked. That's just what I feel personally. Next, another John Wick news. They're doing a new animated movie. Based, it's a prequel to John Wick, where it's going to tell the story of why he retired in the first place. Like the mission that made him retire in the first place, which I think was adapted. I think it was a comic book first, and then they're making it into an animated movie. I think. I'm not sure. And unfortunately, they're making John Wick Chapter 5 now. Why? It's unnecessary. 4 ended the series perfectly? Oh yeah, because Lionsgate is such a fucking bomb factory, they cannot go without their biggest cash cow. But in better news, the Cade spinoff is in the works. Donnie Yen is not only going to star, but he's going to direct. I think this might be his directorial debut, if memory serves me correctly. I think he might have made films in China, but I'm not sure. But if next, the Francis Lawrence movie that I was talking about called The Long Walk, starring Mark Hamill. It's based on a Stephen King book. It's supposed to come out on September 12th. And Francis Lawrence also announced that, yes, the new Hunger Games book, The Sunrise of the Reaping, is getting a movie. And this time, instead of Peter Craig, who wrote most of the Hunger Games movies, coming back to write it, Billy Ray, who co-wrote the first movie, is returning to write.
Yeah, I saw that. That's really exciting.
And they're now getting into the casting process, and apparently Francis Lawrence has been on record saying that this new book is his favorite book in the series.
I've been hearing a lot of great things from the book.
So yeah. And they start shooting this July. They're starting the casting process right now. So I would hope that after this is all done, that Francis Lawrence does Constantine 2. Please. Please. I want Constantine 2. I want Constantine 2!
They are making Constantine 2. And
Well, it's not been officially been greenlighted. It's in development. It's not been greenlighted yet. Unless Warner announces that right now. I don't know. Next, no updates for the Michael Jackson biopic at this time. Why? It's coming out at the end of the year. Why are you not talking about it?
They have to fully reshoot the ending too.
Is it because of this whole Finding Neverland 2? Because they actually made a sequel to that fucking documentary recently.
It has something to do with the movie depicts some allegations, and they didn't have apparently something got crossed, and
I guess the estate got pissed
to use that person.
Uh-oh.
So they have to reshoot the entire third act.
Oh boy, the next project. I just want to make sure, just in case. I want to make it this right. Hold on, let me get this right. Luca Wanna Go Fuck Yourselves remake of American Psycho, a movie I already don't fucking like. I thought this was fake, but no.
Why?
So why?
It was very perfect. And
why? And it's
frankly,
Luca Wanna Go Fuck Yourself, so it makes it even worse.
Frankly, Christian Bale should have won an Oscar for that.
God, it's already overrated as fuck too, but now, oh yeah, fuck it. And Scott Z. Burns, writer of Contagion, is adapting the script. One ever know about the Kane spinoff? Madison Tomlin, who's co-writing the Batman 2, is writing that movie. That is, if Peter Craig doesn't show up and rewrite it, just like he did with the first Batman. Next, a movie called Good Fortune, which I think stars Nick Jonas. I think it stars Nick Jonas.
Yeah, Good Fortune. Something Lionsgate hasn't had for years.
They have. Next, Now You See Me 3, which has been retitled Now You See Me, Now You Don't.
I'm surprised they didn't title the second movie that.
And apparently they are so happy with the third movie that they are developing a fourth. Okay, this is overkill. Now You See Me 4, this is overkill.
Yeah.
This is overkill. And it's Rupert Flesher directing, so that gives me so much hope. Not. AKA Sony's fuck puppy. Except now it's Lionsgate's fuck puppy. Next, The Housemaid from director Paul Feig, starring Sydney Sweeney and Amanda Seyfried, based on the novel of the same name, which apparently might start a franchise because there's 3 of these fucking books.
Is it just me, or has Paul Feig gone downhill since the Ghost?
Paul Feig's like way downhill. You kidding me? Go ahead, Jared.
That book, The Housemaid, is super popular because every week I have to put it on hold at the library for some.
Next, and the last thing that Lionsgate wanted to talk about is Hurry Up Tomorrow, aka the stupid music video, feature-length music video for The Weeknd's album. And apparently, Jenna Ortega, who's co-starring in the movie, bet you she'll be in it. She'll be in it for only 5 minutes. That's my guess. And she was there. She was talking about it. Second trailer dropped, and then The Weeknd himself showed up and did a mini concert. And apparently, when he was singing, he saw Mark Hamill in the crowd, and he's like, "Oh my God, I'm Mark Hamill! I can't believe Mark Hamill is here. May the force be with you, brother." That's apparently what The Weeknd said right there as he was performing that song.
Oh my gosh.
And the crowd were on their feet because it's The Weeknd he's singing. I'm sorry, this movie looks like it's pretty much to me sounds like a fucking visual album, a feature-length fucking music video that's not going to do business because Lionsgate is a fucking bomb factory.
Hey,
I
Mark
don't even think.
Hey,
What?
Mark Hamill, I love you. Bridge Speed Bear 2, can't wait to see it.
Oh God. Oh Jesus. Yeah. Make a sequel to the fucking Idol. Make a second season of that. Let's see how that goes. Oh no, David.
Watch The Idol just to watch the.
Fuck Sam Levinson. I'll say it or I'll say it again. David, what are you doing? What are you doing here? Unless it's you. What the fuck? What the fuck is going on here? Hold on, Soren. Who are you doing here?
Yes. This is David St. Dennis here.
What the?
I wanted to wish you guys a happy April Fool's Day, and you guys are doing great work for my network.
Oh my God, Danny!
Oh wow, that was easy.
Jesus Christ! Oh
I
my-
figured
everybody's
we did
pranking
a
me today.
little surprise popcorn panel invasion last year. I was good enough to do it again this year for April 1st. Okay.
Oh my goodness gracious!
Bye.
Oh, no, do not give any ideas, Jose. Don't give him any ideas. And now let's catch up with Warner Brothers and see what they're doing right now. We have The Bride, Maggie Gyllenhaal directed that. Minecraft, I said. Sinners,
Which they
I said.
delayed to 2026, probably to avoid competition when they
And
came up with
apparently, they said they said they were going to give a new Final Destination. And guess what? They showed the trailer that already came out. They didn't even show a new clip. They didn't show a new trailer. They just showed the same trailer that's already out online. Really, Warner? Are you that fucking lazy? Are you that lazy ass love to not put out another trailer? The movie's out in a month.
Are you lazy, David Zaslav? Is that really a trick question?
Jesus Christ. The Conjuring. Last Rites. Michael Chavez is directing and not James Wan. Who the fuck cares? He ruined it with the third movie, and I don't have any faith in this one. Next, Mortal Kombat 2. Who gives a fuck?
First movie wasn't even good.
It's not good at all. Next up, for New Line, new footage from Zach Krager's new movie Weapons. And this did featurette. And now, right now, as we're speaking, we're up to date. And now James Gunn and Peter Safran are now there. They're going to talk about Superman. I think the trailer is going to drop any minute now because they're going to probably put something in front of Minecraft. I mean, it's one of their big movies, I guess. So I would think that the Superman trailer is going to come out in any minute now. At least that's what I think. And also, apparently, new Flintstones, Looney Tunes, and Tom and Jerry movies are officially at the works. I bet you they're a fucking direct-to-video sequels. Like, how the fuck... I don't even trust them on this because they threw the day the Earth blew up in the trash. So how should I trust you when it comes to distributing these movies? You threw the day the Earth blew up in the trash, and Ketchup Entertainment had to pick up the trash. Seriously, they're fucking ridiculous. Warner's pissing me off already. And we're up to date. So if I have any more updates, I'll let you know. In the meantime, Jared.
Hey. All right. So I didn't know what in the world, I was going to do today for the podcast and stuff. I had no topic planned. I could not think of anything to do. But I finally figured it out because I was supposed to be on last week's episode. And
Yes.
I prepared for last week's episode. I watched the movie. and a lot of things have been.
Yeah, let's just say, yeah, I saw a lot. He emailed me personally. Yeah, a lot of shit happened with him.
Yeah, it's a lot, and I might even go into more detail with you privately, Victor, just how crazy it is. But I watched Back to the Future Part 3, and I want to actually talk about it, damn it, because I didn't get to talk about it.
Yeah, might as well do it. You did it for Bring It On. Might as well do it for this movie.
Yeah, you're getting another review for me for.
Well, he did see that. He did. I saw him.
Hey, I did.
He
And
did.
I did see that, and I could talk about that to fill in some time if you want.
Maybe talk about part 3 first before you talk about that, because when this is so controversial again.
Because, okay, so yeah, back when you did Back to the Future Part 2 and everything, that was very early on when I first started on the popcorn panel, but if I remember correctly, I was not available for that episode. And before then, I had only seen Back to the Future, the first one, twice at that point. So watching part 2, I had never seen it before, and same with part 3. I had been waiting for, unless I got like the 4K, which I still haven't gotten yet, or it magically lands on the popcorn panel. So I finally got to watch this, and I was really excited for it because I liked the second one. I have some problems with it, but it's still just so fun and magical. And I think this is just the perfect capper for this trilogy. And it makes it feel like, in the end, all 3 of these movies had one giant story to tell.
I said this before. This pretty much, the whole trilogy is pretty much one big movie. One big fat 6, 7 to 8 hour movie.
It really is. It feels like that. And it's not just because each movie leads into the other and everything. They continue themes throughout each
They even do reoccurring jokes and repeat them.
Yes. And they, for the most part, a lot of times they reuse, the same cast. And
yes. Unless you're Crispin Glover, because he wanted out of his contract. Yeah. I still don't know what happened with Crispin Glover. I still don't know what happened.
But yeah, so we get to this third one, and this is so much fun. I absolutely love, like, pretty much every moment of this movie. There's not like any terms of like flaws or anything I could really find with it. It's one of those things where, it's great. I just don't like it as much as, say, the first one. And that's still amazing at the same time. I think what this movie does, though, better than any of the other 2, actually, is the relationship between Marty and Doc. And
that's what I said too.
You get so much of Doc in this film, and it's really refreshing because this character is so lovable, and you really like him, and just seeing him have this really sweet romance with Mary Steenburgen's character. It's just so infectious to watch. It was definitely that stuff was definitely my favorite stuff out of the entire movie, which was actually surprising because it's like, Marty is the protagonist, and I love.
I actually said this in my perspective of the review. I said that this movie was more about Doc than it is about Marty.
It really
Marty feels secondary in this movie.
Marty has kind of finished his character arc in a lot of ways before even this film begins. And I just love. Also, this movie is freaking hilarious. I died laughing closer to the end of the movie when um, when it's Clara, right?
Clara, yes.
Yeah. So Clara and Doc have kind of like broken up basically, and he's sitting in the bar talking and
Oh,
whiskey, and they're like, "Oh, like you know what happened? You know, last time you did that and stuff." And then like he's been contemplating this throughout the night, and it's like daytime, and like
he drinks it
he
and then
takes a drink of it, and then just it's completely plastered, falls to the ground, and Marty's like, "How much did he drink?" And he's like, "All you ever had." And they just are like, "Listen, all right, let's like do all this like crazy stuff to try to get him awake." And it's like they just put in like just a bunch of absolute nonsense.
and also let's not forget Buford Tan's right outside.
Yes,
pretty much waiting for the hold
he's
Marty at
waiting for
gunpoint.
him because Marty in a way is like taken Doc's place because Doc is supposedly supposed to die in this new time in the past now, and now it's supposed to be Marty, but now like yeah, it's so freaking funny. I loved that like a whole lot. And the ending is it's so rewarding and so sweet. Like there's such a great finality when Marty gets back and the DeLorean gets destroyed, and then you get to see Doc at the end have like this final farewell with him, and you see his weird ass kids, which
Yeah.
like I know a lot of people have talked about the one son, like apparently in some of the edits or whatever is like keeps like doing this and then like pointing towards his penis. But my version that I was watching it on my phone actually, and I didn't. I think they zoomed in and cropped it to where you couldn't.
Oh my god! Oh jeez, probably open mat.
Yeah.
Well, the one you watched was the anamorphic, but I'm talking like the edit's probably your open mat version or something like that.
But still, like, it's such a rewarding film, I think, especially it makes me wish that I had watched both movies before then back to back with this third one and everything, just to kind of see how it flows together and everything. But it's so rewarding watching this film because just a lot pays off in just a very incredible way, and it ends so satisfying and optimistic, and it made me be like, man, I wish Robert Zemeckis could make movies like this again.
Yeah, he's not going to, because apparently he's too reliant on gimmicks these days.
Yeah, because he
ever since the Polar Express, which I'll say is one of the most overrated movies of all time, all his movies been nothing but gimmicks after that, except for Flight and maybe Allied, but that's it.
Yeah. I gave this movie an 8 out of 10. I couldn't quite give it a 9 out of 10. I have Back to the Future as a 9 out of 10. I think that's a perfect film, and this is very close to perfect. I honestly might end up like on a rewatch just give it a 9 out of 10. I really loved it a lot. I also liked I forgot to mention this, the like Western versions of like the like Back to the Future music. Like
Oh yes, the score is very good.
there's more Western styled versions of the same music that you've heard through the
And
past.
then also it has its own theme that
Yeah.
plays prominently. And also the train. Let's not forget about the train sequence, which
Oh,
I think
Is,
it does run a little long, but I think it's incredibly ambitious.
oh, 100%. This was a big blast of a film. I wish I had talked. I wish I was able to have talked about it with you guys live last week.
I will say, I don't know if you have the same complaint, but I feel like the movie is much too long.
Yeah, because
Scenes drag in the middle.
it
Scenes drag in the middle.
drags in the middle, and then it makes. But by it dragging in the middle, it makes the. Which you feel as if, like, you know, with a movie like this and everything, the train sequence is obviously going to be the climax, but it makes it feel as if, like, when you get to that climax, and as thrilling as it is, it's like, man, this is really running, like, long and everything. Probably makes that scene feel longer than it is. But yeah, I absolutely adored this film. And I'm happy that I was able to watch it and talk about it finally.
You want to talk about that other thing now? Because frankly, this is probably the last time I'm going to even allow this shit to be talked about on the show. Everyone's going to be fucking excommunicado because I'm fucking sick of the discourse behind this movie. I don't care if you liked it. I don't care if you don't like it. I'm sick of the discourse, no matter what you feel about it.
Yeah, because, oh my gosh, it's ridiculous stuff where, to the point where IMDb has had to post, there's a suspicious activity made because of the review bombing.
Oh
Also,
my
I
god!
have looked at the reviews, no, like some of like the terrible reviews, and they are because I use this app. They are Chat GPT.
What? They put AI review. Wow! What an all-time low, motherfuckers! You all
People are
motherfuckers.
Yes. And then like yeah, it's just complete.
You make Drive Shaft look like good writers. Lost joke. Take a drink.
Get this out of the way too. Rachel Ziegler has said some stupid shit. She's also fucking young as shit too. She is, you know.
She's only 23. She's younger than I am.
Yeah, she's young. People say stupid stuff a lot and everything.
Theater kids are often stupid though. She's a theater kid.
Yeah. We need to calm down and be actual adults here.
Yeah,
But
I get it, and you know, I what she said was a mistake. Don't go. I'm not saying that it wasn't a mistake. Wasn't a mistake. It is a mistake.
And
But
watching the
go
movie,
ahead. Go ahead.
he is one of the better things in the movie and everything. I think like she doesn't give like a fantastic performance that she gives in, say, like, you know, West Side Story, because she's great in that, and she's also great in the Hunger Games, but she gives a solid enough performance here. So yeah, Morgan and I, we went and watched this movie because, you know, we were, you know, we've been, you know, watching all of these, you know, live action Disney films together, and we were just interested mainly because of how all of the discourse around the film and stuff. So we had to watch it for ourselves. And I think my biggest problem with this movie is it doesn't know what it wants to be. sometimes it wants to be a faithful adaptation that, at least changes a few things here or there. Sometimes it wants to be a reimagining, and then sometimes it wants to be a deconstruction of the story itself. And if it had chosen either one of those, it would make for a much better film. In fact, it was really around the third act, which was getting really, really goofy and stuff, but it finally decided on what it was going to be. And I was like, okay, I'm in with what this movie is wanting to do in this moment here. But it just doesn't work for me for the rest of the film. There's just there's weird things too, and a lot of people have been talking about Rachel Zegler's hair in this movie, which is stupid because they keep making Farquaad jokes.
Farquaad? What the fuck does Farquaad have to do with anything?
It's because her hair is in the same look as Farquaad. And I think I know why in particular. It's because when she's in the woods, she loses her red ribbon in her hair. And so her hair in that style works when you have the red ribbon, because more than likely in the animated film, the red ribbon is keeping her hair that particular way and stuff, but now it's like her hair is like the exact same and it doesn't have the ribbon, and that's why it looks weird. Okay. But I really, is the stuff with the dwarves a little uncanny? Yes. Have I seen a lot worse? Yes. I'm just sick and tired of people acting like certain things are just the worst things ever.
And people are saying when this movie bombed, oh, that deserves her less. I'm just like, first of all, I bet you, even if Zegler wasn't involved, I think there would be a good chance this movie would have flopped anyway.
Yeah.
And so, what are you talking about?
Also, I'll say this. So I think they do because I had been wondering about this, because this movie originally, the original movie is from 1937. 1937 was a very different time, and the music is, different in that time. So I was wondering, like, how is the music going to play here with, a more modern movie? And I think they did a solid enough job. They took out songs where, like, they took out the one song at the beginning of Snow White that Snow White sings while, like, looking in the well, because that song, the original Snow White, she's very Betty Boopish in her singing. And I think not having that song was actually a very good choice. And then sometimes they add some extra lyrics that I thought actually worked fairly well. And then the new songs, they range from, like, Waiting on a Wish is a fantastic song.
It's pretty much an I Want song. It's another I Want song.
Yeah. And it's really good. And then sometimes it's just like,
I heard the Gal Gadot number is painful. Like, horrifically painful.
So I know you're not the biggest Gal Gadot fan.
I'm not. I don't think she can act.
I like her, and I think sometimes people point to her acting and pinpoint a lot of the worst aspects of it, because, like, even in performances I think that I like her in, she does have odd delivery sometimes. However, oh my God, Gal Gadot was terrible in this film. Like, genuine, and I think it comes from a place of this is just not how the evil queen should have been played. It's very like evil queen a la like if like Descendants and Once Upon a Time.
Oh my
Had a-
god! So
And
Descendants and the
that-
TV.
and then-
You're referring to the TV show Once Upon a Time, written, created by Lost writers Edward Kitts and Adam Horowitz. Oh god!
Yeah, and then mixed with a little bit of theater, some theater acting and everything, and it's so just like tonally not what this character needed. This character needed to be menacing, and she's more just like, ooh, I'm cool and sexy. And also, I'll give Gal Gadot props here. It's the most finger acting that I have ever seen somebody ever do. Like, she acts with her fingers, like
It's finger paint.
like just insane. It was honestly really funny. There were moments where like she was making me laugh unintentionally. And so like it's a bad performance that is fun to watch, I think. Or it could be painful for some others.
Mm-hmm.
There's also weird things too, where that there's this new character who's the replacement for the prince. Justice for Florian, by the way, just saying. But
Who?
Jonathan,
Oh.
there's something about him, like, was like, it's too, his outfit and stuff is way too modern. He's basically wearing like
A t-shirt.
t-shirt, and like it's basically a hoodie. and just there's weird things like that, weird choices. It feels sometimes like they are doing a what do you call it? It feels like they're trying to evoke a combination of what Princess Bride was doing / like what Ella Enchanted was also kind of doing, like kind of tongue-in-cheek self-awareness of like the absurdities of like fairy tale in a way. And it just fell very flat. And this is another thing that I have to say with this. This isn't a knock against the movie, but it is a knock against a lot of the Disney Disney live action remakes, which I like a good amount of them, actually. Like there's not one that I have like hated at all. But one thing that I have stuff is,
I will say, there are more remakes that I like than I dislike.
I feel the same way.
Yeah. I felt this way with, say, like Beauty and the Beast as well. When there is this adherence that they want to evoke the look and feel of their animated counterparts. And I understand that because the Disney iconography of these characters is so strong
and special.
It makes everybody like look what they're wearing and stuff like they're wearing costumes. Like it doesn't feel like these are things that people in this world of the film would actually wear. It feels like something you would wear in a stage production of the movie. So I've always felt that way. Like, it's just like the Snow White costume. It's very accurate to the animated film, and I like that. But it's just so bright and stuff to where it's like nobody would realistically wear this. But like at the end of the day, like I didn't hate this film. There's things I didn't like in it. I think it's kind of a mess of a film, but it has good aspects in it. I think Rachel Ziegler's good. I think the music is good. Sometimes there's a beautiful shot here and there.
Well, it's done by the same DP who did the Mulan remake, which, for the record, everybody shits on that movie. I think it's one of the better remakes they've done, especially in terms of cinematography. That movie's fucking stunning.
It's actually pretty decent.
I fucking love it.
I definitely left this movie just feeling very, like, meh about it. Which, you know, you don't want to go out of a movie, but, like, it's a whole lot better than just being like, oh
By
my
the
god,
way, the DP...
I'll rate it 1.5 on IMDb.
1.5 on IMDb. And now all these celebrities are now starting, like, in fucking, they're all fractions. Like, fucking, other people have supported her. Ziegler, that is. Melissa Barrera's come out, one of them. Helen Mirren, Lucy Liu, and a couple of others. And people like Mark Platt, one of the producers, his son shit on her. Fucking John Lennon's son shat on her. And it's all these fucking fractions and shit. I'm just like, everybody, shut the fuck up. It's a soulless remake. Calm down.
Besides, it's not Rachel Ziegler's fault.
Snow White, like, killed their, like, dog or something.
Yeah, they're treating it like they killed their dog, or in my case, like if Chayton killed James Cameron's dog.
It poisoned our water supply, burned our crops, and delivered a plague onto our houses.
Or me trying to go after Sean Baker. Oh, great! 5 weeks in a row where I reference this guy.
Yeah, like I hate talking about this stuff and everything, but it fandom has gotten so like ridiculous to where like we think that we have so much power.
Spoiler alert, you fucking don't, because I mentioned this last week and I'll say it again. If these fucking people support Lilo and Stitch and make it money, you're fucking hypocrites. We're like, oh, Disney should stop their remakes. Oh, they should end them all. I'm just like, then if you don't want them anymore, go see Mission Impossible instead of Lilo and Stitch. But if Lilo and Stitch opens at #1 and Mission Impossible bombs, I have no one to blame but your fucking selves.
And also see Elio instead of the How to Train Your Dragon remake.
God, it's annoying.
Select. It's like they select.
It's selective thinking. That's what it is.
They have decided that they are going to like and dislike before they come out. So, yeah.
Ridiculous.
I gave this movie a 6 out of 10. In my Letterboxd review, I was almost like debating even a 5 out of 10. I think at this
I love this. Okay, I'm gonna read this. You know who Bill Burr is, right? The comedian?
Oh.
Who was on Breaking Bad as well, too, as I mentioned before. I mentioned Breaking Bad before, but he called the people who are complaining about the Snow White remake, he called them, quote, the biggest fucking babies. I love Bill Burr. He's fucking awesome. He's so funny. I love that guy. He says, quote, I'll tell you one of my favorite things about how each side thinks the other side is dumb, and then each side thinks the other side is a bunch of babies. Specifically, the right thinks that liberals are a bunch of fucking snowflakes, whiny, entitled assholes, which, I mean, come on, that's pretty fucking true, right? But for conservative people to act like they're not the biggest fucking babies, it's also fucking hilarious. Have you seen this fucking white people, whitey, we're all fucking upset. There's enough for this to go, for enough to get going trending anyway. We're upset about the new Cinderella movie. The actress is playing Cinderella is not white. There is no prince. They changed the story. What am I going to tell my kids? The shit that my people get upset about. What am I going to tell my kids? Well, fucking talking around it. Like if you talk around the real history of this country, you could talk around genocide and slavery. I think you could talk around a stupid fucking movie about some broad who didn't exist. You can't do that? Go take her to see fucking Pinocchio. I didn't like Pinocchio because that fucking wooden puppet transitioned into a real boy. Is he making fun of the people who complain about Pinocchio transition?
Oh gosh.
God.
There was one joke at Snow White's expense, everything that I've been seeing go around and everything that was really funny. So spoilers of sorts for this.
Like I care. It's the same fucking movie.
That nobody cares about. But so Dopey in the film is a character that is rather like shy and just like afraid to speak. And at the near the very end of the movie, Dopey finally speaks.
So he turned into Silent Bob.
Yeah, he finally speaks, and I've been seeing this thing.
Or Maggie from The Simpsons.
I've been seeing this post going around and everything. Somebody's filming my theater's reaction to Dopey speaking in the film, and then it cuts to Dopey speaking, and then it cuts to the person like pointing his camera in the theater, and they are the only one in the theater. There's no reaction.
Oh my god.
The one last thing.
Yeah, go ahead.
I see this Letterboxd review somebody gave of the film. That they gave it 2.5 stars, but they said Gal Gadot is one of those actors that makes me feel like I could also make it in this business.
Oh my god.
Hey, she wasn't half bad in this movie.
Oh my god. Most people would not agree with that, that's for sure. But yeah.
I had fun watching her. Yeah. I didn't like her, but I had fun watching her.
But yeah, with this, well, now, so yeah, that's probably the last time we're gonna fucking talk about Snow White. This is excommunicado. You're getting the fuck out of here. Like, I'm not getting the fuck out of here. There's more show to do, but like Snow White, I don't want to talk about this movie anymore. It's just so, the thing is so stupid. I just want to move on with my life. Excommunicado, goodbye. You're like John Wick, except John Wick he survived being excommunicadoed. Anyway, more updates about Warner Brothers. I've been seeing, apparently they took fucking forever talking about Superman. They were pretty much apparently James Gunn, Peter Safran, David Cornswell, who plays Superman, Rachel Brosnahan, who plays Lois Lane, and Nicholas Hoult who plays Lex Luthor, were all there. And all they were doing was talking about the movie, and it's pretty much felt like, basically, from what I gathered in terms of the things that they said, they sounded like a bunch of fucking corporate speak. It sounded like corporate speak to me. People were like, "Oh, this movie's gonna bring back the magic of cinema." I'm just like, the first trailer did nothing for me. I've been on record that the first trailer didn't do anything for me. If the second trailer doesn't do anything for me, if it does come out which I think it will, in front of Minecraft, but if it doesn't do anything for me, fucking superhero fatigue is bad. Also, one more thing about Snow White before I move on. Disney didn't want to talk about it anymore when they had to pull a damage control and announce the Doomsday cast list. That was damage control. To me, that was damage control for Snow White.
Mm-hmm.
Don't you think that was damage control? It absolutely is. Like, it happened days after it came out, days after it was confirmed it was a bust. It's a bust. And okay, stop ranting about Marvel. People are gonna get pissed off in the live chat again.
Yeah, I'm rewatching Marvel right now. I'm almost done with Phase 4. I'll have my rankings soon.
Let's see. Apparently, they're remaking the Cat in the Hat in animated. In terms of Warner, apparently they showed the first 10 minutes of F1. The first 10 minutes of F1 were there. There's a description. Bloodlines, Final Destination. I'm all catched up. I think we're good. So yeah, after this soupy break, oh boy, well, we're gonna talk about. I don't know how we're gonna talk about this movie because this is the first movie that we're ever gonna review that technically has no plot.
Yeah, it's not a documentary. It is a film.
Oh my, I guess. Anyway, enjoyed the soup break because I actually brought it fucking back because I wanted to do this clip because it reminded me of what we're going to do because it's crass. Anyway.
On I Love New York 2, things have settled into what can only be described as an icky status quo. It continues to find ways to lick New York, and the token white guy Cheesy found himself in a dominatrix situation.
I love spanking Cheesy.
Shut up. And sexually ambiguous muscle guy, the entertainer, gotten some quality toe sucking.
Baby, oh my God. Seriously. Oh, yes.
Any doubts I had about the entertainer melted away the moment he put my entire foot into his mouth.
No, it's classy because she has a cigarette. I got through that whole clip without vomiting.
I thought the toe scene in this movie made me uncomfortable.
And yes, I did put in that fucking Quentin Tarantino me because why would I not? Why would I not put that in there?
Also, that wasn't in the...
What?
That wasn't in the actual clip itself? Or...
No, I edited that in.
Oh my God.
I edited that in.
You would say the him or Dan Schneider.
Let's see. Dan Schneider. I should have fucking put Dan Schneider in front of that. That would have been funnier.
Oh.
Okay, so apparently the new footage from Superman but the information has been leaked out. It said that it starts pretty much like the beginning of the first trailer, and he tells Krypto to take him home, grab Superman's cape, and begins dragging him. Then the ice breaks out from the ground, the Fortress of Solitude, which I don't think it is in the trailer. I think they were just on the snow. Krypto barks, the door opens, and then there's robots come running. And the robots carry Superman into an OR type room. So it's like ER, but for Superman. And apparently they help him fucking, oh God, this sounds like a fucking comedy. We see a few shots on the trailer, then one scene in a living room with Lois and Clark. Superman, Lois says, Miss Lane, Clark responds, thus indicating he revealed his identity. We see several shots of all the superheroes in the movie. Krypto whines in the background, and Superman flies away from the fortress. This doesn't look any better than the first trailer from the description I'm reading. This doesn't look any better. What?
I love that trailer.
This doesn't look any better. I'm going to continue to be egotistical heel about Superman because not franchise. I do have franchise fatigue sometimes, but superhero fatigue's kicking my ass. Anyway, let's review Jackass the movie.
Welcome to Jackass.
The following stunts were performed by professionals. So for your safety and the protection of those around you, Paramount Pictures and MTV Films insist that neither you nor your dumb little buddies attempt any of what you are about to see. This summer, Jackass, the movie.
This isn't gonna work. It might.
Wow, that was like the longest thing I've ever put because I couldn't find a fucking TV spot. I actually had to use the fucking trailer. I actually had to use a trailer because the TV spots were all like I don't know, behind the scenes kind of stuff. That's all I could find. It didn't feel like actual spots to me, so I had to just use that. I'm like, fuck it. Let's see if Paramount doesn't take down this fucking video. Like you did with fucking South Park. Anyway, Jackass, the movie, is a 2002 American reality slapstick comedy film directed by Jeff Tremaine, based on the MTV series Jackass, created by Johnny Knoxville, Spike Jonze, yes, that's Spike Jonze, and Jeff Tremaine. They also produced the movie, starring Johnny Knoxville, Bam Margera, Chris Pontius, Steve-O, Dave England, the late Ryan Dunn, Jason Weeman, Ozuna, I think that's how you pronounce his name, Preston Lacey, and Aaron McGahee, released on October 25th, 2002. So that contradicted that preview. By Paramount Pictures and MTV Films. Budget was only $5 million, and it made $79.5 million worldwide. There's no fucking plot to this movie. I would read the plot, but there is no fucking plot to this movie. It's just a Jackass gang doing a bunch of stupid shit, just like the TV show. That's the movie.
Just making asses of themselves, no pun intended.
It is an elongated version of like the show.
49% on Rotten Tomatoes, 6.6 on IMDb, and on Letterboxd, I believe that is a 3.3. No, it's a 3.4. I have no idea what the hell it is on Metacritic, because Metacritic's a bunch of pussies. Not put on Google.
And I feel as if like the reviews, like no matter who you are, depending on the type of person you are, all like your rating on this movie, no matter what, is correct.
Yes, no matter what review, what kind of review you put, it's all correct. I mean, I guess I should start with how I got introduced to Jackass. It was a long time ago, 2010. I was at my godmother's place. We slept over that night, and they decidedly to put out, because Netflix at that time had Jackass 3D to stream. So they put on Jackass 3D, and that was my first exposure to Jackass. That was my first Jackass movie. And I was as a 10-year-old, let me tell you, I don't think I've laughed harder as a 10-year-old than I was watching that movie. I mean, this is the typical, I mean, even now I still laugh at these movies because frankly, this is my sense of humor. Typically I have a juvenile sense of humor, and this movie is no different. I mean, this movie, like, it pretty much takes the TV show. It's an elongated version of the show, but it's even more crass. Especially if you watch the unrated cut, which I have. It's very crass.
God.
I mean, it's hard to describe what goes on in this movie because essentially it's just a series of skits going one after the other, one after the other, one after the other. It's just so fast, and you can barely keep up. But this movie, I'll say, it feels long, but in the best way possible. You know how I always say whenever a movie is too long, it feels like this movie is too long, but in the best ways because I didn't want it to end.
That kind of like setup and everything of like it just being like a series of basically skits and everything, kind of you're waiting for the next one. Okay, what's the next one? The next one, and then the movie just ends, and you're like, oh well.
I think out of all the Jackass movies, this one has the least end, like has like the worst ending because it didn't even feel like an ending.
Yeah, I mean, you have
others have an ending, have endings, but like this, what I like about this movie, especially with this one, this feels like an extension of the show, especially with how it's shot. Yes, the opening sequence with is shot on film. And, it's with the grocery carts and the fucking generic operatic music you hear in every movie trailer. And everybody's just getting thrown. A couple of people get thrown off by the bricks and explosions and everywhere. But most of this movie is shot basically with a handy cam.
Yeah.
And you can tell, too.
Oh, it looks like shit.
It looks like shit. Like, it does. But it really... The show was filmed like this. And it literally... And I listened to stop stuttering. I listened to a bit of the audio commentary, and apparently the opening scene was Jeff Tremaine said that he came up with that to see it, like, to make people think that Jackass had sold out. Oh, it's too Hollywood now. But then by the next scene, it looks like shit. Like,
Oh.
and the problem is about that scene is that he thought, it was supposed to piss people off, but then the test audiences loved it, and it defeated the purpose of the opening scene.
That's funny.
And that's why the opening scenes afterward kept getting more elaborate and elaborate through each movie.
Yeah, because this is the second Jackass movie I've seen. I have only ever seen most of Jackass Forever because my old boss, she had me watch it with her, and then I like a few episodes of the show. So that was my true like introduction to Jackass, because I had known about it before but never like paid attention to it at all. So it was interesting, like, because this is really the first one that I've watched like at least all the way through. And because remember when I reviewed Freddy Got Fingered on here?
Oh, yes.
I mentioned in that too, and I mentioned in my review of it, like on my actual channel, that, Tom Green paved the way for Jackass, and I just do not care for Tom Green's kind of humor at all, despite it being very, very similar. And I think it all has to do with presentation.
Yeah, I think it does.
Because it's like, regardless of how you feel about like the jokes and stuff and what goes on in these movies, it's like you cannot help but love this group of people.
Yes, that's the thing. They're likable. They're lovable. They feel like a bunch of friends you hang out with. Tom Green, he's a fucking loser. I'm sorry, he's a fucking loser.
Oh yeah.
And it's actually funny. And even like, I guess I have to talk about certain skits in the movie because frankly, I don't think we could be able to do this review about just talking about how, we could just continue doing the review and say, oh, this is funny. There's only so many ways you could talk about this is funny without talking about the actual skits of the movie. So I'm going to probably go through a couple of my favorites. Okay. So I want to start off with the stuff with the muscle stimulator.
Oh my god.
And the unrated cut, it's even worse because
the balls.
And actually in the unrated cut, you actually see Chris Pontius' balls. You actually see it as you see his balls for like a good 10 seconds in the unrated cut, and they put it on his ball. But then I think one of them put him on the crotch, right? Was it Ryan Dunn or was it Dave England put it on the crotch?
See, I don't know many of their names and everything. So
I know what they look like. I could try and figure that out for you, but I'm just, and also the whole movie feels stream of consciousness, so bear with me as I try to go through these. There are several segments in this movie that take place in Japan.
my god, the wasabi.
Huh?
The wasabi.
Steve-O pretty much he orders wasabi in his restaurant and he treats it like cocaine. He starts to sniff it in his nose and he throws up his food.
Sauce.
And then at the end, at least in the unrated cut, he eats like whatever's left of the fucking food and puts it into wasabi, eats it, and he just keeps vomiting.
Oh god.
It's so nasty, but it's so funny. It's like Tom Green. Yes, they're similar in terms of the humor is nasty, but I feel like with Jackass, it just feels like a harmless prank. Ultimately, they're harmless at the end of the day. Tom Green, he just likes shock value. He just likes to go like, Freddie molested
And it's
me.
actually punchline to these jokes.
Yeah, and also let's. Speaking of Japan, anything with when Chris Pines has to go be party boy.
One of my favorite scenes too. Oh gosh, it's the golf course scene.
Oh, yeah, the golf course when they're putting the air horn.
Pissing those guys off, and they
and then they start
throwing
the golf balls at them.
Yeah, they go up to them and it's like, you gotta fucking do, do that again. And
oh my god, it's so funny. And then a couple of other things. Let's talk about the demolition derby that starts out the movie, where they pretty much Johnny Knoxville and Jeff Tremaine go up to this guy to rent a car. They fuck up the car so bad, and they take it back to the rental place. And he's like, the guy there, he's like, oh, you have to pay for it. And then Johnny Knoxville's like, oh, I'm not going to pay for it. I didn't do anything. Anything involving Bam's parents, especially the alligator.
Oh my god.
April, his mother. It has one of the most the fucking line where she says, well, it's not a line because it's actually for real, but she says along the lines of, is this thing real? It's
alligator. And not to mention, what makes that scene funnier is that one of the guys who is her son said, "Oh, I bet."
Bam, yes, because Bam says at one point before that scene happens, "Oh, I hope I can say now we don't have to bleep curse words. I hope I have to get her to say fuck at least once in this movie," and she says "fuck" in that scene.
There's. I'm like looking through like scenes and stuff, the scenes in the movie and stuff, so I know these actors' names and stuff. But it's Ryan Dunn when he goes to get an X-ray.
Oh, that's the scene that ends the movie. It's the butt X-ray.
But I think my personal favorite is actually when Dave shits his pants in the fucking
like Home Depot ass store.
Yeah, he goes to a hardware store and
not to mention
one of the toilets.
And then also before that, they're about to go there and he shits his pants before they can do it, and then they have to try again. He shits his pants, and you actually see his shit.
Yeah, you really do see, and he's like, "Oh, I got it on my hands." Oh my god!
Oh my god! Oh, a couple of others. I'm not gonna say what my favorite scene is quite yet, but I'm trying to think of others. The fucking
scene where one of them, his scooter bike, quote unquote, breaks down, and he goes down the road.
Oh yeah, that's actually Spike Jones.
Really?
That's Spike Jones. Yeah, that's him. Because he, Knoxville, and Bam, I think, were all pranking people trying to be old people. And in that particular scene, that's Spike Jones. Spike Jones, I'm telling you, I love Spike Jones as a filmmaker, but I truly believe Jackass is the best thing he's ever done. And I like being John Malkovich a lot, although it's been quite a few years. And I also like her. But to think that he goes from doing her to doing Jackass forever, I mean, it's crazy. It's so crazy, but he has that fucking range that I absolutely love. He can just pretend to be an old person going down the road and just try and get his ass killed in the street. And then a few other scenes that come to mind at the moment. Okay. I know we have to get this out of the way, Jared, because I know in your review you talked about it. Let's talk about it. Paper cut.
Oh, fuck me. Like, Yeah, I said in my Letterboxd review that like if I ever like rewatch this movie, I am just skipping over
That
this.
scene is fucking gnarly.
Oh, like I just there is nothing worse to me than getting a paper cut, and especially a paper cut in like the webs of your
hand and your feet and
and your tongue and
oh my god. Oh yeah, and then like Steve-O, I think he had it on his fucking lips like this.
yeah. Oh god. I'm just like
Ooh. And then also sweaty old fucks where the sweaty old fucks where they pretty much like put them like Bam Margera, he goes with Fatsu, and then they also bring in Matt Hoffman, BMX rider, and Tony Hawk himself to be fat and do all the stuff that they would usually do, skateboarding, BMX, and they're just fat.
Hey, look, it's Romy.
Oh no, that's Butterbean, which we're going to talk about right now. The boxing match in the fucking department store with Butterbean, and the boxing match, and Johnny Knoxville gets knocked out to the point where he's snoring in the middle of everybody.
Gosh.
Or where Ryan Dunn gets his ass kicked by a girl. Oh my god, there's too many scenes in here. Okay, I'm going to talk about one of my favorite ones. And it's probably, I'm surprised this didn't disgust you, Jared. I'm surprised that this scene didn't disgust you.
Mm-hmm.
But this is one of my favorites in the movie. Yellow Snow Cone. Where Aaron goes out in the middle of the snow, grabs a bunch of snow, puts a cone on it, takes a piss in it, and eats
He starts out and people are like, everybody's like, oh, he's like,
well, someone was inspired by Monsters Inc.
What'd you say, Jared?
Oh, like, thing is, like, when he starts and everything, and he's like making a face and everything, people, everybody, the guys are just like, you know, like, oh, like, is it gross and everything? And he's like, it's cold. Like, his mouth is just really freaking cold at that point. And yeah.
And then when he starts eating it, he does okay for the first few bites, but then he starts vomiting. Like, I think it's other than Lance Bangs, where the cameraman who constantly vomits throughout the entire movie, this is the worst vomiting in the entire movie.
Orange. Like
orange.
He's puking the color orange.
And then what made it even worse was that he took some of his vomit, puts it on a snow cone, and calls it, oh, that's a chocolate snow cone, and eats it again, and then he froze up even harder. Oh my god, that's the scene that will always stick with me ever since I first saw it. That made me die laughing, and it still makes me die laughing, but especially when I saw it the first time, I was just laughing so hard to the point where I was like banging the table. Yellow Snow Cone, that's Vince's favorite. Vince McMahon. Oh god. But yeah, that scene's not for the faint of heart.
Don't worry, it's lemon.
Oh Jesus. And then you also have the scene where they pretend to be pandas in Japan. That's kind of funny, although to be fair, it reminds me of something that I kind of didn't talk about when I did my Kirsten Dunst ranking, because the song that they play is Turning Japanese by the Vapors. If you don't know, I guess I'm going to say it. So in 2009, Kirsten did a short film directed by McG. I reviewed it because I thought I was going to review everything. I ended up only ranking her films. It's her in Japan in a Sailor Moon type of uniform, singing that song poorly and walking around Japan. It's like cultural appropriation, and with the song and the lyrics, like, yes, the scene by itself, this scene is, harmless, the pandas, but it reminded me of this whole thing again. And Jared has gone on record saying that's my favorite. That's his favorite review that I've ever written on the Letterboxd platform.
Yeah. Oh my god,
it just reminded me of that time, which happened about 3-4 months ago. was just like, oh no. Oh no. But you know what's funny? Remember the scene where they're jousting in the department store? Remember the scene when they were in the convenience store and they were jousting? You know what I saw in the background? Because there's a bunch of videotapes that you see in the background of all these different movies that came out in 2001. But what I saw, the first one that I saw, like I saw a couple others, like the Tim Burton Planet of the Apes. Those were like afterwards, like Legally Blonde, Osmosis Jones. But the first one, ironically enough, was a Kirsten Dunst movie. It was crazy beautiful. I saw it in the back, the VHS tape of them in the background. I'm like, is this fate? Is Jackass is promoting my fate analogy? So now people are gonna get really pissed off of me in the live chat now. But you see that in the movie. I'm not joking. And that was like number 7 on my ranking of hers. In the final ranking was number 7, or was it number 6? No, it was number 7. Bring It On was number 6. But I thought, oh, that's hilarious considering all the circumstances. Let's see. Are there any other scenes that I'm missing? Let's see. Oh, the scene where they're gonna ride with the whale sharks, but I like the beginning part of it first, where Pontius and who was it? Was it Bam? Yeah, I think it was Bam. They go in the ocean. They go in the ocean and they mess with the sea urchins because the guy states that they found out what you call it, thank you very much, I like cake. But the sea urchins, when they feel threatened, you do in a certain way, and it looks like somebody's coming, and they literally pretend to masturbate with the sea urchins because it looks like the sea urchin is coming. Oh, but the whale shark almost eats the cameraman at one point. I noticed that. That reminds me. The fucking bungee cord wedgie. The bungee cord wedgie, and the guy who's doing it, he introduced himself saying, and I'm a fucking idiot, and it didn't work the first time. He gets falls flat on the ground, and then the second time they do it, and the fucking bungee and the wedgie, and just... Going back to Bam's parents, remember the scene where he wakes up his dad early because he has to go to work early with fireworks? By the way, for those who have epilepsy, I wouldn't recommend this movie because especially in this scene, flashing lights. And I don't think it's even edited either. I think the flashing lights were like that when they actually recorded it.
Oh, God.
I know it's interesting. I really like, I can't believe I'm saying this for a Jackass movie, but the sound design is really good for a Jackass movie, especially my DVD copy. I think it's one of the loudest DVDs I own. And that's saying a lot. Also, the soundtrack, forget about it. It's like my stuff, like it's my shit, like Andrew WK. Of course, you have the Jackass theme song in certain points, a bunch of CKY. It's great soundtrack. Very much the late period alternative rock before all the indie shit took over, like the last dying breath of alternative rock in the early 2000s. I really love it a lot. It's very, very, very good. Let's see. Anything else I could talk about? Other scenes. Soren, do you have any other scenes that come to mind for you?
Trying to think. Probably the scenes where one of them strips to his jockstrap and dances in front of Japanese.
Oh, that's people. Party Boy. That's Party Boy.
But was it Steve-O when he was doing the tightrope around the...
Yes, that was Steve-O.
Yeah.
That was Steve-O. And that was insane. The fact that the fucking...
My gosh. And then, they put something, basically in his butt and everything.
That's a banana. It was a banana.
I was wondering what that was.
It was a banana. like the little, thing, the opening, the banana, and they give it to the fucking, what was it, a snake, or is it like a shark? I don't remember what it was, but like that is absolutely insane. And then too, like for a movie that is so crass, it has such a good heart to it. That's what I like about Jackass. Even though it's so crass, there's always so much heart to what they do. It's it feels like, people say, oh, around this time, this could be like shit, like this promotes toxic masculinity, but like at the end of the day, I feel like it has a lot of heart, that a lot of, and that's why the Jackass movies and the show have cult followings. Like really, it's funny stuff, and you connect with these people. You feel like they're your friends for 90 minutes. And that's what I like about them. That's what I really like about them. Of course, I cannot talk about this without talking about the, for lack of a better term, post-credit scene, even though the credits are still kind of rolling, but the very end of the movie with the Son of Jackass skit. Which, in my opinion, is the best scene of the entire movie. It really is. They're all of them are old. They're all the old, like it's coming in summer 2063, and then they all come out and they're all old. And then what happens is that explosions go off, the Jackass theme comes on, and they all start getting killed for crazy shit. And Steve-O is the only one who survives.
That makes sense.
At the end of the day, it's not my favorite Jackass movie. I will tell you, Jackass number 2 is my favorite. You bet your ass we're going to review more Jackass movies, because Jackass number 2, I think, has the best laughs of the entire, other than Jackass Forever. Jackass Forever has a lot of good shit in it too. But my favorite's number 2. And this movie, it has a lot of laughs, but there are certain parts where you could take it or leave.
That was me, because like even when like there'd be some jokes where like setups there and stuff, and I'm just like, I'm not laughing, or I'm not laughing. This isn't as funny as like it could have been.
Keep in mind, they only had $5 million to work with, and I think that Jackass number 2 had a bigger budget. 11.5 million. So yeah, they had double the budget to do whatever they wanted with it. So they were limited by the budget. But to be fair, even though it would cost only $5 million, Paramount MTV, to their credit, let them do whatever they want. They allowed them total creative freedom. And this feels like they were creatively free when they were making this movie. They would do whatever the fuck they feel like works. And it made a lot of money too. This is supposed to be the end of the Jackass franchise, because the show had already been over for about a year. This is supposed to be the big finale, and yet it started an entire movie franchise for the so-called finale. And I just think
the third movie had a really good 3D back in the day.
I've never seen the 3D version of it. I wish they reissued it in 3D so I could see what it was like.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love this movie. It is so fucking funny. I mean, there's a bunch of other shit that we haven't even gone into, but like, this is just, this is also, there's another one where, Preston Lacey, he's pranking somebody. He sits on this bench, and the bench goes the other side. And I think he goes, and the one where Wee Man pretends to be a big traffic cone, bumping into people. Oh my God. I bet you there's a lot of other parts that I'm missing. Maybe we'll get to them at some other time if memory serves me correct. If memory comes up. Oh, there's 2 other ones I want to mention. The one where Johnny Knoxville gets shot.
Oh, yeah.
Probably the scariest scene in the entire movie. because the sound design, you're just waiting for that fucking bullet to go in his chest. And then when it happens, boom, and it just looks, when you see it in the slow-mo, they show it again, and it just looks nasty. And his scar got worse the next day. And then there's another one where Knoxville is going to do a grind, a 50-50 grind with a skateboard, and he falls flat on his, busts his ass. He busts on his ass, and it reminds me the rocket roller skates where he also busts his ass several times. And then the scene where I think it's Aaron and Chris, they fucking do fireworks. I think Chris pulls the fireworks from his crotch. He puts he sticks it onto his crotch, and it just pulls his crotch in the fireworks. This movie is so crass and it's so stupid, and it's one of the funniest movies I've ever seen. Come on. Yes, the humor is inconsistent from skit to skit, but considering that the movie is nothing but skits, honestly, it works so well. It really does.
Because if one doesn't work, there will be the next one that does.
Yes, that's exactly what and again, it's not my favorite Jackass movie, but I think it is a movie that, sure, some people might be disgusted, but for most people, I think this is a movie to put on if you're feeling down, and this movie will make you laugh or smile, guaranteed. That's what I said in my recent review. This movie will be guaranteed to make you laugh or smile or both. It is a pick-me-up movie in every regard. Because of that, I'm going to give it a 4 out of 5.
8 out of 10.
7 out of 10.
Well, that's close enough.
Yeah.
That's close enough. Unfortunately, we cannot spin the wheel this week because we already have plans, because I already told Jared in the email.
Yeah.
This is supposed to be Schindler's List.
What a day with that one.
What if we done Schindler's List tonight? I think we would have been canceled. Because it's the April Fool's episode, and yet we're doing fucking Schindler's. Maybe that's a joke in and of itself. I was reviewing Schindler's List on April Fool's Day, but I felt like too sensitive. But next week we will for sure review Schindler's List. In other words, I have to get 3 hours and roughly 15 minutes of my time to watch it. What'd you say?
I'll dig my 4K out.
Well, I already have it on digital. It's just to get the time. The time. I have no problem accessing it, but it's the time. But again, it's one of the greatest movies ever made. So, and then Hunter, are you still gonna you're still gonna ask for you're gonna request your birthday vote for the wheel? Because we introduced this thing last week where if anybody we know it's their birthday and they want to do this, do it. They put we put a movie on them for a wheel for a request. I think it's next week, right, Hunter? Correct me if I'm wrong, please. But yeah. Okay, good. All right. Just keep yours in mind. And then when we get to the end of the review, I'll ask you for it. Just don't save it to me. Don't private message me anything. Just keep it top secret for now, or think of something. I don't even know. But keep it top secret for now. So yeah, that's it. This is one of our shortest episodes ever. And I thought it was going to be long because we were going to review fucking CinemaCon shit. But I will tell you, that's not the end of the CinemaCon talk, because next week I will be talking about Universal and Amazon MGM. And if Amazon MGM announces the next Bond, I'm going to start with that. As for Universal, I'm going to say this right now. I'm going to predict something. Because CinemaCon, they put up a poster for Wicked for Good. Oh, yes, and Disney. We cannot forget about Disney, because and Paramount. Is Paramount still on? Yeah, I think they are. But Disney, James Cameron, if you do not show me any fucking Avatar, I'm going to...
And a trailer.
Give me the goddamn trailer.
Today.
I want the trailer right now. I want it right now. It's my most anticipated movie of the fucking year. Come on. So Paramount, I don't think they're going to show anything for Scream 7. It's still filming. Universal, anyway, back to my Universal prediction. I have a feeling we're going to see a trailer for Wicked for Good. because they put up a poster of it during the CinemaCon walls. You might have seen it on the internet somewhere, but I have a feeling Wicked for Good is going to be their flagship. What'd you say? What'd you say?
Oh, I was actually just now looking at the poster for.
Well, there you go. There you go. And then, of course, Jurassic World Rebirth. I don't think that is that going to get a trailer. I don't know, but I don't really care about Jurassic World Rebirth. I said it before. It just didn't look that good. But Wicked for Good, if it does come out with a trailer this week, bam, it's going to break the internet. Fuck Spider-Man 4. Or not fuck Spider-Man 4, but Spider-Man 4 is going to be forgotten compared to this. You know, because Wicked was such a big phenomenon last year. Forget. And also, I you know, some sick, twisted mind wants me to review Wicked on the show just to torture Chayton. Because he's coming back next week, and I want to torture him. I don't care if he dislikes the movie. I want to fucking torture him.
Mm-hmm.
I want it to blend on my request, and I can put Wicked on there so I can piss him off.
That'd be fantastic.
I don't care if he hates it. I don't care if he likes it. I just want to do that. Do that before part 2. I hope to do that before part 2, Jose. Hopefully it lands out before fucking part 2 comes out. But yeah, Paramount, I don't know what they're going to fucking show because they're a mess right now. Ever since with the Skydance merger and everything, they're a fucking mess. I don't know what they could show. They can't show Scream 7. That's still filming. So what are they going to show? The Running Man, the new Edgar Wright remake of the Arnie classic, maybe.
Are they gonna show a fucking influencer Smurf again?
Probably. 9 times out of 10, yeah, they're gonna fucking show that shit. They're gonna show it. There's no doubt. Smurf. Who gives a fuck about the Smurfs? I don't care about the Smurfs. The live action movies were painful, and now this happens. Raja Gosnell, it looks like you have a job compared to this. You actually did a better job than whatever these people think is good entertainment. So yeah. As for other things, things that I didn't hold on. I'm trying to see if I got everything off my chest in terms of what I wanted to talk about, and I didn't forget anything. Let's see. Let me check this. Hold on. I already mentioned that. Yeah, I think that's it. I think I mentioned everything so far. As for CinemaCon, the other fucking thing, we will talk about it when it comes down to. Oh, we have to see Mission Impossible. They have to put out Mission Impossible trailer. The movie's coming out in a month.
Yeah.
They're lazy when it comes to the marketing Mission Impossible. It's coming out in a month, and they haven't pulled full throttle on the marketing. Show me Mission Impossible. I want to do well. The budget's $400 million. Come on now. We already talked about Zelda, but like Mission Impossible, they need to put out the fucking trailer right now because we only have one trailer, and that was a teaser. So, come on, put it out. Don't be chicken. Like Marty McFly. Actually, no. Biff is the chicken, more like it. He's more the chicken. But yeah, that's it. CinemaCon Part 2 with Schindler's List and probably a bunch of other crap. In the meantime, whoo, that was a long one. I can't wait for my Breaking Bad set to get in the mail. Goodbye now.